Yo, welcome to Oriel TV. 5 things that kind of shocked me about San Miguel de Tucumán and why you want to stick around today because I'll give you some tips if you're traveling to Argentina. So, number 1, this was going to catch a lot of people off guard. In San Miguel de Tucumán, I'm going to tell you something that you probably have never encountered, especially if you're living in the US. You have to have your DNA in some supermarket in order to be able to use your credit card. What? What does this mean? What are you talking about, Ori? Yo, so in the States, you can go to pretty much any supermarket and all you need is your credit card, you got your groceries, and you can shop. You're not gonna have any problem. This is not the case in San Miguel de Tucumán in Argentina. Why? Because they have a law where you have to match the ID, the DNA or DNI, someone correct me in the comments below, is basically the identification of yourself in Argentina. Like it's your ID card basically is the same way it functions in the US. And you have to have that to match to your credit card before you can actually use your credit card in some of the supermarkets here. So number 1 is if you don't have cash, you actually can't shop in some places because you're not going to have the proper DNA card to be able to use. They had to type the numbers in and scan it of a person that I knew so that I could use my card in a store. Number 2, this leads me to my point number 2. You need cash in some areas. Every store will always be able to accept cash and you don't need a identification card to be able to use cash. So in some areas, as you get further away from popular cities, you're going to want to have that because cash is going to work no matter what. So I would advise you to have, if you have a family member that you know, you can download the application called Remitly and you can send money straight to their bank and they can just extract cash out for you at the blue dollar value. Or you can have Western Union, you can send money to yourself and pick it up as pesos. So have a way to send cash to yourself that's really easy to use. And I would advise you, in my opinion, just keep around $50 to $100 in cash in your pocket, or closer to 50. It is a little bit cheaper comparison to the US. You really don't need a full 100, but you do want to have a little bit on you so that you could be good in whatever scenario that you might possibly face. Number 3, fast food doesn't really, at least in San Miguel de Tucumán, you're not going to be going through drive-thrus to pick up fast food. So what I mean by this, I have yet to see a Burger King, I've yet to see a Taco Bell or a Wendy's or a Popeyes. I just for the first time saw a McDonald's at a plaza at a mall area after 2 to 3 weeks of being here in San Miguel de Tucumán. So you're not going to really be seeing a lot of fast food restaurants. A lot of places are going to be sit down places you can go into and order food and it's going to be brought out to you. In addition to the food that's going to be brought out to you, and at least in San Miguel de Tucumán specifically, they're very big on bubbled water or water with bubbles, what is it, Alka-Seltzer and things like that. So a lot of the water they bring out always has bubbles. I was like, oh, they probably bubbled water again. That's pretty big in Tucumán, so just letting you know that as well too. When you sit down at places, a lot of places might bring you that. Yeah, you're not going to be going to any Popeyes, McDonald's, and not that you should, or you'll go to a McDonald's, they have some here and there, but it's nowhere as frequent as you would see in the States. That's just not something that you're going to see very often. Number 4, I don't know, I didn't spend that much time in Buenos Aires. Like I said, I'm in San Miguel de Tucumán, so most of my thoughts are going to apply to Tucumán. I don't think that you can survive in San Miguel de Tucumán without knowing Spanish, in my opinion, if you're on your own, because I've been here for probably close to 3 to 4 weeks and I've yet to meet one single person that knew English. They're going full on Spanish. They expect that you know Spanish. They're speaking to you in Spanish and their whole lives are in Spanish. And I'm just putting that out there for anyone who might want to travel to more areas that are not known, like a Buenos Aires or a Cordoba. These are more popular areas. But once you get away from that and you're heading toward the south or the north, and you're going to areas that aren't known by the whole world and aren't always on the TV screen, you need Spanish. You really do, because that's how people are going to communicate with you. That's how you're going to connect and integrate yourself in the culture. I just went to like a park yesterday and I ended up running laps with a guy and the whole conversation was in Spanish. You know, he told me about his life, his kids, how much he loved Argentina, the different places that he traveled to within Argentina. I met his girlfriend and I met a whole bunch of other people, and everything was in Spanish. There was nothing that was in English. You know what I'm saying? So number 4, I really want to stress that point of you're going to want to have some level of Spanish. I mean, I'm going to say a pretty good level of Spanish if you want to, unless you have a guide or someone who's helping you. But if you are someone who wants to travel on your own and you really want to experience things, I am going to recommend you to be studying Spanish and have that be at a really good level, you know, proficiently being able to understand and have real-time conversations as well too. Number 5, always remember that you're giving kisses on the cheeks, and this is both to men and to women. Just kind of giving you a heads up on that. I'm from a Caribbean culture and I grew up around Hispanic people as well too. So for me, this is normal. I've always given my family members kisses on the cheeks. You know, it could be both sides. That's how the greeting is always done. But I'm telling you that maybe if you don't come from that type of household, when you step into Argentina, especially San Miguel de Tucumán, that's kind of like expected. It's almost seen as rude if you don't do it, right? So I'm giving you the heads up early if you don't know that. You know, this culture is very close. It's very sentimental. It's very how you doing, things like that. You lean in, body warmth, hug, and all of that. People are used to that. Even when I, was meeting strangers in the park yesterday, all of them were sitting right next to me with skin to skin, deep eye contact. So don't be afraid of that if that's something that throws you off. I'm just giving you a heads up. But it's honestly very lovely, and the people of San Miguel de Tucumán are very lovely as well too, and very open. It has been a blessing, and I really do thank them so much. And any people who might be from San Miguel de Tucumán or Argentina watching this video today, drop me a comment. So those are 5 things that were pretty cool that I really love about San Miguel de Tucumán in Argentina. The place is very beautiful that I recommend you definitely to visit. Leave me comments below if you got any questions. This is Oriel TV, Oriel. You can check out Ori, my music, my pages, my Instagram. Until next time, ciao, ciao.